Today, we're excited to share our selection of the top 10 best new movies of 2025 you don't want to miss. These movies will keep you hooked from start to finish, immersing you in non-stop thrills, intense moments, and heart-pounding scenes that won't let you look away for even a second. This video is the 14th installment in our 2025 movie series. Be sure to check out the links to the previous episodes in the description below. If you enjoy these movie summaries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your movie-loving friends. Stay tuned until the very end and let us know your favorite film in the comments below. Number 10. A Line of Fire.
Whoa, Jamie, have to go.
A Line of Fire is an action thriller that follows Cash, a former elite FBI agent who has left his high-risk past behind to live a quiet life as a single father. He focuses on raising his daughter while keeping the ghosts of his previous assignments at bay. Life seems calm until Jamie, the niece of Cash's former partner, shows up in desperate need. She is caught in a dangerous situation involving powerful criminals and corrupt forces that even extend into the government. Reluctantly, Cash is pulled back into a world of espionage, violence, and betrayal. As he navigates this treacherous landscape, he confronts old allies who may no longer be trustworthy and adversaries who are ruthless and highly skilled. Each step he takes exposes deeper layers of corruption and hidden agendas, forcing him to rely not only on his combat expertise, but also on his sharp intellect to stay ahead of those hunting him and Jamie. Amid relentless gunfights, intense chases, and strategic confrontations, Cash struggles to maintain his moral compass. Number 9. High Rollers. High Rollers is a sequel to successful film Cash Out, once again bringing John Travolta back to the screen as Mason Goddard, a slick and clever criminal mastermind. The story begins with Mason, retiring from the world of crime after escaping from previous robberies with the love of his life, Amelia, and his team. But their peace is abruptly shattered when military helicopters storm the beach. The crime boss from the first film kidnaps Amelia to force Mason into pulling off one more job. This time, the target is a massive casino owned by a sadistic tycoon with a bizarre fashion sense and a vault full of dirty money. With the FBI on their tail and betrayal lurking within the group, Mason and his team must pull off the biggest heist of their lives to rescue Amelia and escape the game. The film aims to be a lighter version of Ocean's 11, focusing on Travolta's charm, energetic action, and a flashy atmosphere. Number 8. Mantis.
허가한 작품은 반드시 트라이 할 것.
Mantis is a Korean action thriller set in the shadowy world of contract killers, where balance is everything. That fragile order shatters when the CEO of a powerful assassin organization suddenly dies, leaving the underworld leaderless and exposed. Factions quickly emerge, each determined to seize control, and old rivalries resurface with deadly intensity. At the center of this turmoil stands Hanul, known in the underworld as Mantis. Hanul, once a peerless killer, had left the bloodshed behind, but as chaos spreads and old debts resurface, he is drawn back into his deadly world. Number 7. Stand Your Ground.
And now,
Stand Your Ground is an intense action thriller centered on Jack Johnson, a former Special Forces operative trying to live a peaceful life with his family. His world is disrupted when he becomes entangled with a dangerous criminal organization. Jack must navigate a complex and threatening environment where survival depends not only on skill and strategy, but also on understanding the law. The controversial Stand Your Ground law plays a key role, allowing him to defend himself in life or death moments. Jack's military training, intelligence, and tactical experience give him an edge, but the challenges he faces are as much moral and emotional as they are physical. As tensions rise, Jack finds himself in a battle for survival and justice, confronting enemies who will stop at nothing. His journey is marked by high-stakes encounters, intense action sequences, and moments of tension that keep the audience engaged without revealing the ultimate outcome. Number 6. Bambi: The Reckoning. Bambi: The Reckoning reimagines one of childhood's most familiar tales as a chilling survival horror experience. Set deep within an isolated woodland, the story follows a mother and her son who find themselves trapped in a hostile environment after a devastating accident. Stranded, injured, and vulnerable, They must navigate the unforgiving wilderness while realizing that something far more dangerous than nature itself lurks among the trees. The forest, once a symbol of life and innocence, becomes a nightmare landscape filled with dread and unseen threats. Tension steadily builds as the characters discover they are being watched and pursued by a powerful presence, one that strikes with unrelenting ferocity. With every moment, the line between predator and prey blurs, forcing the survivors to rely on their instincts and resilience if they hope to make it out alive. The film transforms a story once associated with beauty and innocence into a dark, cautionary tale about vengeance, survival, and the feral heart of the wilderness. Number 5. Deathstalker.
My old friend. Come and get it.
Deathstalker is an action fantasy adventure set in a world scarred by endless wars and haunted by remnants of forgotten magic. The kingdom of Abraxan teeters on the edge of ruin. Wandering these battle-ravaged lands is a lone warrior known only as the Deathstalker, a mercenary whose survival depends on strength, cunning, and a willingness to face dangers others would flee. When he comes into possession of a mysterious artifact on a corpse-strewn battlefield, Deathstalker finds himself drawn into a conflict far greater than his own survival. The relic is not simply a prize, but a catalyst, awakening forces that blur the line between legend and nightmare. Marked by its power, he becomes the target of sinister enemies and monstrous beings that threaten to plunge the realm into further chaos. Deathstalker reluctantly sets out on a perilous quest through deadly lands, seeking freedom from the artifact's grip and the truth of its power. Number 4. Locked. Don't do this! Locked is a psychological thriller about Eddie Barish, played by Bill Skarsgård, a small-time thief who steals a luxury SUV. However, what seems like an easy crime turns into a nightmare when Eddie becomes trapped inside the vehicle. The car, owned by a terminally ill doctor named William Larson, played by Anthony Hopkins, is a sophisticated, high-tech prison designed specifically to hold him. Larson, who is seeking justice for the damage caused by Eddie's criminal actions, has meticulously engineered the car to trap Eddie both physically and mentally. As the story unfolds, Eddie must confront not only the claustrophobic confines of the vehicle, but also the tormenting psychological games that Larson plays. Larson's health is deteriorating, and he uses the trap as a way to punish Eddie for his past crimes, forcing him to grapple with guilt and the consequences of his life choices. Throughout the film, Eddie experiences intense psychological and physical torture. Number 3. Beast of War.
On the battlefield, there's only you.
Beast of War is an action horror set in the Timor Sea during the height of World War II, where survival becomes a brutal test of courage and endurance. After a devastating attack leaves a group of Australian soldiers stranded far from land, they are left adrift on makeshift rafts with dwindling supplies and the vast ocean stretching endlessly around them. In the beginning, the men had to deal with obvious threats, injuries, exhaustion, hunger, and the relentless heat of the sun. Tensions mount as fear and desperation begin to erode their discipline, testing their ability to hold on to hope in such dire circumstances. Leadership, camaraderie, and trust quickly prove to be as vital as food and water, but the ocean conceals dangers far greater than they imagine. The survivors soon sense they are not alone, that something stirs beneath the waves. As shadows shift in the depths, unease grows, and the line between natural peril and something far more terrifying begins to blur. Number 2. Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter is an action thriller that follows widowed fishing shop owner Barb, played by Emma Thompson, as she embarks on a solemn journey through the snow-choked wilderness of northern Minnesota to scatter her late husband's ashes in a secluded lake they once cherished. Traveling alone in the dead of winter, she carries little more than her grief and the instincts honed from years of rugged life. Her path takes an unexpected turn when a blizzard forces her off course. On a lonely back road, she encounters a tense and evasive man standing over a patch of crimson snow. He insists the blood came from a deer, but Barb's suspicions are immediately aroused. Not long after, she stumbles upon a chilling scene, a terrified teenage girl held captive by the man and his cold-hearted partner. With no cell signal and miles from the nearest town, Barb realizes she is the girl's only hope. Drawing on quiet resilience and resourceful cunning, she engages the kidnappers in a dangerous psychological standoff. Number 1. Bugonia. Bugonia is a darkly comic and unsettling satire that blends science fiction with psychological drama. The story follows Teddy, played by Jesse Plemons, a disillusioned beekeeper plagued by apocalyptic visions, and his partner in obsession, a young conspiracist. Convinced that humanity is being manipulated by forces far greater than governments or corporations, they take it upon themselves to expose what they believe to be the ultimate truth. Their obsession soon fixates on a powerful pharmaceutical executive, a woman who embodies everything they see as corrupt and dangerous about modern society. Believing she holds the key to humanity's destruction, they abduct her in an attempt to force a confession, and in their eyes, save the planet. What follows is a tense and often absurd confrontation where ideology, paranoia, and power collide in unpredictable ways. As the captors push further into their investigation, the boundaries between reality and delusion begin to blur.